Today, we're diving into one of the most legendary pieces of American wartime history, the Wartime Jefferson 5-cent coins of the United States of America. These small silver alloy nickels, struck during World War II, carry stories of sacrifice, industry, and hidden fortune. Many people unknowingly hold them in old jars, wallets, or inherited collections, never realizing they could be holding a rare coin worth hundreds, thousands, or even life-changing money. In this video, we'll uncover the top 4 most valuable wartime Jefferson nickels, how to identify them, what mint marks to look for, and why collectors around the world are hunting these tiny treasures today. If you love rare coins, historical secrets, and the thrill of finding valuable money in everyday places, this video is made for you. Stay tuned, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to spot a wartime nickel that could rewrite your future. The year is 1943. The world is at war, metal is rationed, and the United States Mint quietly creates a coin that would later become the heartbeat of every treasure hunter's dream, the Wartime Jefferson Nickel. But among all of them, one stands above the rest like a crown jewel, the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel, struck in Philadelphia with its bold P mint mark shining above Monticello. This was no ordinary pocket change. This was a silver-bearing wartime issue, born from sacrifice and necessity, carrying the weight of history inside its very metal. Today, collectors whisper about it like a secret prophecy, the coin that can turn an ordinary person into a millionaire overnight. Unlike regular nickels, the 1943 P was minted with a special silver alloy, a response to wartime demands when nickel metal was needed for armor and weapons. That small change in composition transformed an everyday 5-cent piece into a rare survivor of a global struggle. Each piece that escaped melting pots, careless spending, and decades of war became a tiny time capsule. And among them, the finest preserved examples, untouched, flawless, shimmering like moonlight, have reached values that sound unreal to ordinary ears. What makes this coin truly legendary is not just its silver content, but its rarity and perfect condition. Millions were struck, yes, but very few survived without scratches, dulling, or circulation marks. The highest grade specimens, those that look today exactly as they did the moment they left the mint presses in 1943, have sold for prices that leave collectors breathless. These are the coins locked away in private vaults, auctioned behind velvet ropes, discussed in hushed voices at elite numismatic gatherings. The P mint mark itself adds a powerful mystique. It was the first time in American coinage history that a Philadelphia mint mark appeared on a U.S. coin. That single letter transformed the 1943 P nickel into a historical milestone. It marked a turning point in minting tradition, a tiny stamp that forever separated ordinary wartime nickels from the king among them. Owning one in pristine condition is like owning the first chapter of a new era in American coin history. Stories circulated collectors who discovered one in an inherited box of old coins, sitting unnoticed for decades, only to later learn that their small gray disc was worth a fortune. The idea alone ignites dreams, that somewhere in a forgotten drawer or rusted tin, a sleeping treasure might still exist. This possibility is what makes the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel more than a coin. It is a symbol of sudden destiny, a reminder that life-changing wealth can sometimes hide in the smallest places. In today's market, when a flawless specimen appears at auction, the room changes. Bidding accelerates. Hands rise. Numbers climb rapidly into 5 and 6 figures, sometimes beyond. These are not just buyers. They are hunters of legacy, collectors who know that once such a coin disappears into a private collection, it may not resurface for decades. Its price is not simply metal value or age. It is a price of rarity, history, and obsession combined. To the untrained eye, it may look like just another old nickel. But to the informed seeker, every detail matters. The crispness of Jefferson's profile, the sharp steps of Monticello, the clarity of the date, the brilliance of untouched surfaces. These tiny details separate a common wartime nickel from a fortune-making masterpiece. One small difference in preservation can mean the leap from a few dollars to a life-altering sum. This is why those who truly understand the 1943 P. Wartime Jefferson Nickel say, never sell in haste, never accept the first offer, never underestimate what you hold. The coin market is filled with stories of people who unknowingly let go of rare treasures for pocket change. Knowledge is the real key, the difference between losing a fortune and unlocking it. The magic of this coin lies not only in what it is, but in what it represents. It represents survival through war, the endurance of metal through time, and the thrill of discovery. It stands as proof that history and wealth can merge in the palm of your hand. It whispers to collectors, look closer, learn more. Your destiny might be smaller than you think. So if you ever come across a 1943 Jefferson Nickel bearing, that proud P above Monticello, pause. Feel its weight. Study its shine. Because in that small silver wartime coin may rest a sleeping giant. A piece of history capable of transforming an ordinary life into a story of overnight fortune. The 1944 P Wartime Jefferson Nickel. This small 5-cent piece was not ordinary pocket change. It was born from necessity, forged in a time when copper and nickel were needed for weapons. So its composition was altered, giving it a SI gray glow that separates it from every standard nickel before and after. In that subtle shine lies the first whisper of its mystery. A coin that looks simple, yet carries the weight of history in every grain of metal. The P mint mark above Monticello on the reverse is more than just a letter. It marks the Philadelphia Mint's participation in the wartime alloy experiment. That tiny symbol is a signature of an era, proof that this coin was struck when the world was changing. Most people never notice such a detail, but collectors know one letter can separate a common coin from a legend. And when conditions strike quality and rare errors enter the story, the value rises like a hidden tide. Now imagine finding one preserved in breathtaking perfection. Sharp details in Jefferson's hair, crisp steps on Monticello, surfaces untouched by time. Such examples are astonishingly rare. Most wartime nickels lived rough lives in circulation, clinking through decades of commerce. But a handful escaped where, surviving like time capsules. These pristine survivors ignite fierce competition among collectors, and when auctions begin, prices climb with breathtaking speed. Then there are the mythical era versions, coins born from mistakes at the mint. Doubled letters, misaligned strikes, unusual die cracks, or missing details. Errors are accidents, but in the collector's world, accidents create miracles. A 1944 P Wartime Nickel with a dramatic and authenticated mint error can transform from a humble 5-cent piece into a trophy coin that commands staggering sums. These are the pieces that make headlines, the ones that rewrite personal fortunes. Stories circulate in collector circles of rare wartime nickels, selling for amounts that sound unreal to everyday ears. Not because the metal is expensive, but because rarity, demand, and history fuse together to create a price that feels like lightning trapped in a tiny disc. Owning such a coin is like holding a winning lottery ticket that never expires, a silent promise of opportunity resting in the palm of your hand. This is why seasoned collectors say, never rush to sell. The coin market moves in waves. A piece that seems valuable today can become priceless tomorrow when the right buyer appears. One collector's dream is another collector's treasure, and when two determined bidders collide, the final price can soar beyond imagination. Patience becomes power, knowledge becomes armor, and your small silver-gray nickel becomes your secret advantage. There's also the emotional magnetism of this coin. It connects you to 1944, to factory whistles, war bonds, ration books, and the hands that once spent it in a time of uncertainty. Owning it is not only owning metal, it is owning memory. That emotional weight adds another invisible layer of value that no price guide can measure. Of course, not every 1944 P Wartime Nickel is a fortune maker. Many are common, worn, and worth only modest sums. But hidden among them are rare stars, the perfectly preserved pieces, the dramatic errors, the exceptional strikes. The challenge is knowing the difference, recognizing potential, and treating each discovery with respect rather than haste. So if you ever find a 1944 P Wartime Jefferson Nickel, pause before you let it leave your hands. Examine it, research it, protect it. Because sometimes destiny hides in ordinary places, a forgotten jar, an old wallet, a family keepsake. And sometimes, a tiny 5-cent coin has the power to rewrite a life story. In the end, the Wartime Jefferson Nickel is more than a collectible. It is a reminder that value is not always loud, not always obvious. Sometimes it whispers from history, waiting for the right person to listen. And for those who recognize its call, that small silver-toned coin can feel like a key, not just to wealth, but to wonder itself. The year 1995, the humble Jefferson nickel and a tiny mint mark P beneath the date. To most people, just another 5-cent coin lost in pockets and drawers. But to the trained eye of a coin hunter, this small disc of metal can whisper the possibility of hidden fortune. Not because every 1995 P nickel is priceless, but because within ordinary mintages, rare conditions, flawless strikes, and mysterious mint errors can turn a common coin into a legendary prize. The story of the 1995 P Jefferson nickel is not about magic. It is about rarity, perfection, and the thrill of discovering something the world overlooked. In 1995, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels, most destined for everyday use. Yet among these oceans of ordinary coins, a few were struck with exceptional sharpness, brilliant surfaces, and untouched perfection. These coins, preserved without scratches or wear, can achieve the highest grading levels. In the world of collectors, perfection is king. A single point difference in condition can lift a coin from pocket change to a treasure locked behind glass. This is where the dream begins, not in fantasy, but in the pursuit of the flawless. Then come the true rarities, mint errors. A misaligned strike, a double die, an off-center impression, or a missing layer of metal can transform a simple nickel into a one-of-a-kind artifact. These errors are accidents of machinery, never planned, never repeated the same way twice. When discovered, they become the heartbeat of collector excitement. A 1995 P. Jefferson nickel with a dramatic error is no longer just a coin. It is a recorded moment of imperfection in the minting process, a frozen mechanical whisper from history. Some collectors search rolls for years without finding such a piece. Others discover them by accident, hiding in change jars or old family collections. That is why the legend grows. The belief that a tiny overlooked coin can still be waiting, sleeping quietly in everyday places. The power of the Jefferson nickel story is not that every coin is worth millions, but that one exceptional coin can rewrite the life of the person who recognizes it before anyone else does. High-grade certified examples of 1995 P nickels have sold for impressive sums when preserved in absolute mint condition. Error pieces can climb far higher. The market rewards rarity, documentation, and condition. This is not a lottery ticket. It is a treasure hunt guided by knowledge. The collectors who succeed are the ones who learn what to look for, who understand the tiny details of strike, shine, and spacing that separate ordinary from extraordinary. The phrase silver coin often adds mystery, but the 1995 Jefferson nickel is not silver by composition. It is a copper-nickel alloy, yet its bright surface can shine like silver when untouched, giving it the appearance of precious metal. The real value lies not in material, but in scarcity and demand. In numismatics, metal weight is small, history and condition are everything. Stories of $1,000,000 coins exist because a few rare coins truly have sold for staggering prices, but always because they were unique, authenticated, and desired by top collectors. A 1995 P. Jefferson nickel could reach extraordinary value only if it possesses something truly rare, an extreme error, a perfect top-grade certification, or provenance tied to a known rarity discovery. Without these, it remains a collectible, not a fortune. Understanding this keeps the dream exciting yet grounded. So if someone holds a 1995 P. Jefferson nickel and feels curiosity spark, the best path is patience. Do not rush to sell for pocket change. Examine it carefully, compare it. Have it professionally graded if it looks extraordinary. Knowledge is the key that unlocks value. Many fortunes in collecting were born not from luck alone, but from careful observation. The magic of coin collecting is that history hides in plain sight. A small 5-cent piece can carry stories of mint machines, human hands, distribution across a nation, and survival through decades. Sometimes, just sometimes, a rare survivor emerges, and that discovery moment feels like destiny unfolding. So the 1995 P. Jefferson nickel stands as a symbol, not a guaranteed ticket to wealth, but a reminder that extraordinary things can hide inside ordinary places. For the dreamer, the collector, The curious soul, it whispers possibility. In the world of coins, possibility is where every great fortune story begins. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel, minted with the iconic P mint mark, is no ordinary coin. At first glance, it may seem like just another 5-cent piece rolling out of a vending machine or lying forgotten in a drawer. But for the keen-eyed collector, this coin holds a secret magic, a hidden treasure waiting to transform the life of whoever possesses it. Its value is not just in its metal or face value. It is in the rarity, the history, and the whispered promise of unimaginable wealth that seems almost mythical. Those who recognize its worth know that it is not to be spent lightly, for this small coin carries the potential to change a fortune overnight. From its striking design to the meticulous craftsmanship of the Philadelphia Mint, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel is a masterpiece frozen in time. The obverse proudly displays Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, captured in stunning detail. Every curve of his face, every fold of his collar, is a tribute to American artistry in coinage. On the reverse, Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, rises in quiet elegance, a symbol of legacy, intellect, and endurance. Collectors are drawn not just to the coin's monetary value, but to its representation of history itself. Holding it feels like holding a piece of the nation's soul. What truly sets this particular 1989 P mint mark nickel apart is its rarity in mint condition. Most coins minted that year circulated widely, picking up scratches, dents, and inevitable where that comes from everyday life. But the ones that escape circulation, preserved in pristine form, are the true treasures. Their surfaces glint like liquid silver, reflecting light as though each coin carries its own secret energy. To the untrained eye, it is simply a nickel, but to the seasoned collector, it is a portal to wealth, history, and prestige. These are not mere words. The market has repeatedly proven that such coins command prices that defy imagination. In today's market, a 1989 Jefferson Nickel in perfect, uncirculated condition can reach staggering figures, sometimes into the millions. It is a coin that has been whispered about in collector circles, a coin that can make someone wealthy almost overnight. Imagine casually holding a 5-cent piece that could redefine your financial reality. A coin that transforms from pocket change into a fortune that shifts the course of your life. For many, it feels like owning a talisman, a charm of prosperity, wrapped in silvered metal and historical resonance. The allure of the 1989 Jefferson Nickel is not just its monetary value, but its potential to become a symbol of luck and fortune. Many collectors speak of the thrill of discovery, the pulse-quickening moment when they find one in a forgotten collection or stumble upon a pristine specimen at a coin show. This nickel is more than a coin. It is a story, a legend in miniature, a key that opens doors to financial opportunity and social prestige. Its mere presence in a collection elevates the status of the owner, a silent testament to discernment, patience, and luck. Collectors are advised to handle such coins with extraordinary care. Even the smallest scratch or fingerprint can diminish its value dramatically. These coins are not meant for casual handling. They are artifacts of fortune. Special cases, protective capsules, and careful storage are the rituals of those who understand their true worth. Every glance at the coin, every gentle touch, is a reminder of the immense possibility contained within a tiny, unassuming circle of metal. The 1989 Jefferson Nickel is not just currency. It is a legacy, a chance at unimaginable prosperity, and a keeper of dreams. Historically, the Jefferson Nickel series has always captivated collectors with its elegance and continuity. The 1989 edition, however, stands out for a subtle combination of rarity, mint condition, and market demand. Unlike other years, this nickel has become a sought-after gem among numismatists, fetching prices far beyond its humble face value. It has a perfect storm of historical significance and scarcity, and that combination is what turns ordinary coins into legendary fortunes. Owning one is akin to possessing a secret treasure chest, whose key is patience, vision, and a bit of luck. The market for such coins is fiercely competitive. Auctions often see multiple collectors vying for the same specimen, pushing prices to extraordinary heights. Stories circulate of fortunes made overnight by those who recognized the coin's potential before the world caught on. Owning a 1989 Jefferson Nickel is like holding a golden ticket. The right moment, the right buyer, and the right condition can make the difference between a small gain and life-altering wealth. The narrative surrounding this coin is almost mythic, and it adds to the excitement and anticipation that collectors feel. More than anything, the 1989 Jefferson Nickel is a testament to the power of foresight. While others see just a 5-cent coin, the true collector sees opportunity, history, and the potential to rewrite destiny. It reminds us that value is not always obvious, and that extraordinary wealth often comes disguised in the ordinary. For anyone lucky enough to own one, it is a daily reminder that patience, knowledge, and an eye for rarity can unlock unimaginable rewards. Finally, the legend of the 1989 Jefferson Nickel is not just in its price, but in the dream it represents. A coin so small, so easily overlooked, yet so powerful that it can change lives. To hold it is to hold possibility. To protect it is to guard fortune. To recognize it is to embrace destiny. For those who understand its true worth, this nickel is more than collectible. It is a nightly promise, a quiet whisper of riches, and a timeless symbol of the magic that can lie hidden in the smallest corners of our world. This is a 1989 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that doesn't just sit in collection, but lives in the imagination, fortune, and heart of those who dare to dream big.